So there's some drama going on in the Pretty Little Liars fan base right now, and I'm deciding to cover it. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched Pretty Little Liars, the original series, and Original Sin, but if you haven't watched Pretty Little Liars, original series, I mean, get on it. It's been a couple of years now. So the character in the screen, Imogen, she basically had a child in season 1 of Original Sin, yeah. And then I'm pretty sure they were like discussing with the original Dr. Sullivan from the original series about just like adopting the baby, and Ezra and Arya were one of the couples that she was going to give the baby to. And correct me if I'm wrong, in the most recent episode of Original Sin, which has recently premiered on HBO Max, Imogen basically like, she got a weird vibe from Ezra, which period. Now, those of us who are original fans of the series know how weird and just wrong as adults this relationship was. Teachers and students should never be a thing, and the fact that it was even normalized in Pretty Little Liars just says a lot about the original show. So Original Sin, the showrunners for this show have decided to course correct that because that storyline in the original series aged horribly and a lot of fans were still disgusted about it. Period. Now that I've established this, let me show you what happened. So I don't know what specific post this is under, but Marlene King decided to defend her decision when asked and saying, "What did you think about them dissing Ezra in the reboot?" And here she says, "I feel extremely disrespected because the Ezra I wrote was not weird." I found this completely disappointing because let me just tell you, first of all, this relationship should have never been a thing. In the original books, Ezra literally I believe he went to jail and like he wasn't even allowed to see Arya. He was only there for like 2 books. So the fact that this ended up being in game in the original series just shows how weird Marlene is, but also the fact that she's not even admitting that she was wrong and making them canon and like still alluding to the fact that she originally had called them soulmates instead of seeing the error in her ways, despite us being a whole adults now and realizing how weird this relationship was. It's so disappointing. And granted, there are a lot of fans like calling this out for what it was. This was grooming. This is a really inappropriate relationship. A teenager and a student and a teacher should never be together in any circumstances. Never should have been normalized. Can't believe this one was on ABC Family at the time. So now ultimately I am happy that the Original Sin show has course corrected and Imogen didn't give it to the baby to Ezra and Arya, and they moved away from that storyline because that was probably one of the main issues that people had with season 1. So let me know your thoughts on Marlene King's comments about saying Ezra isn't weird, even though I completely think he was. He was a grown man dating a teenager and got married to his former student, okay? And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.